This is an instructional video to show you how to cut out the January design from the book, A Snowflake for Every Season. In the first video, I showed you how to fold the paper. And in this video, I shall instruct you on how to cut the design out, giving you helpful hints along the way. The items you will need in order to cut out the design will be a hole punch with a 1/16 punch and a scissors. So the first thing I always do is I put the holes in where I'm going to need to get my scissors to open up the area. I have the P's are there to mean punch. So you punch a hole in those P's, and while we're at it, this is the eye of the snowman, so let us go ahead and punch his eye out, being careful to place that punch correctly, and there we go. Alright, so the first cut that I always make is to get rid of the outside area. So I'm going to follow along that edge. Notice I keep my scissors up. I use these pincher fingers to pinch the design as I'm cutting, and I'm using these to move the paper as I cut. So the paper is moving, my scissors is not moving that much. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that area off. Then I'm going to, I try to get rid of as much of the gray as possible. While I'm at it, I'm going to go down here, following along that area. I cut in, and I turn with my pinchers, and there we go. That should fall right off. Now we have to get into this area here. So I'm going to start here and follow along. Notice that my pinching fingers are along the edge, close to where I'm cutting. Once I get into there, I'm going to pull out. I'm going to get rid of that little bit of there so that angle is clear, and then I'm going to go in the other direction and go to there. So here again, pinching close to the area that I'm cutting. That helps keep the paper stabilized and everything comes off. Notice how it's not quite falling off. You go back in and you cut a little more so that the piece just falls out. You don't ever want to pull, because that only helps it, it makes it tear. So now what I want to do is this area right here, and I have the hole there in order to help me to open it up. So I'm going to put my scissors in the hole, and I'm going to just cut so as to open up the area. I'm not really following any lines, I'm just opening up that area so that my scissors can get in more easily. Just cut in the area until I'm open. Okay, so now I have it open enough that I can get my scissors in, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting away that gray. So I get my scissors in there, I turn it till it's straight along there, and then I'm going to pinch and hold everything stable. And then I'm going to remove little pieces of gray like this. Okay, then that should just fall right off. Never ever pull on a area like that. It should just simply fall off. If not, just get your scissors back in there and cut a little more, and it should fall off. And we'll do the same right there. Very good, and voila, it's off. Alright, now we need to finish up the area right here, going in there, turning the paper, holding it with my pinchers close to where I'm cutting. Now once that's there, I'm going to get my scissors in. Notice how I'm coming in from the bottom up. That's a helpful hint. It helps to cut. Sometimes you need to come in from the bottom, other times you need to come in from the top and cut. And as I go, I'll remind you or show you or tell you when I'm doing each one. Here, I now need to come from the top down. So my scissors goes in, and I cut to here. Once I get there, I turn, get my scissors in, hold close to where I'm cutting, and that piece should fall out. And now that area is complete. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut these 3 little gray areas out. Open it up. Notice I'm holding close to the gray area. Alright, now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go in. I get to that corner, that point there, I'm pulling out. I'm going back in. I'm cutting to that point, and I'm pulling out. Now I'm going to put my scissors from the top down and go ahead and cut that little area out. And it's not quite coming off, so I'm just going to go back and just kind of cut a little more, and there it came off. I need to do that, so notice I'm using my pinchers. I'm pinching right there on that corner to stabilize the paper, and I'm going to come around that half circle there and that. And now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go in. Once I get to that edge, I pull out, come in from the bottom, and do the half of the circle there. And once I get up there, you'll notice that that will fall off. And we have, when you open it up, the head of the snowman. Alright, so fold it back. Let's go ahead and do the next body down part and go around and pinch, and you're turning. This is the turning. The scissors is just simply cutting the paper. It's not turning the paper. Now let's go ahead and do the hat over here, starting up top, pinching close to the edge to stabilize the paper, keeping my scissors straight up and down. Get to that edge, I'm going to pull out, turn, and then go ahead and cut straight in. And that should fall right out. Now, here again, the pinches are important. You're pinching here. When I get to that half circle, I'm pinching and pulling it around and just cutting ever so slowly. And then once I get across, then I can cut straight out. And that, we have the other hat, the larger hat of the snowman. Alright, so let's go ahead and do his nose. Pinching, turning, pinch, turn, cutting as I go. Very important. Alright, now do the mouth. I'm going to go up. When I get to that, I'm pulling out, and I'm coming from the bottom up to that point, and the mouth will open up and fall off, and there we have the face of our snowman. So now I want to go ahead and open up this area. I'm just going to cut all the way down to the tip right there. Once that's done, I'm going to come up here and cut up to there. Now I have it is open, so I can get my scissors in very easily and remove the gray area right here. Cut, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut down and pinching along the way as I go. Pinch, pull out, going in from the top down and getting rid of that area there. And that should fall off. Very good. Now, going to go up here, going to do the same thing. Pinching along the edge to stabilize the paper and going around and coming from the top down now when I feel like it's getting difficult from the bottom, pulling out, going in, turning with my thing, pinching right here and cutting that last little bit off. Going to trim that area right here and this area right there, and now I have that little piece, triangle or diamond area there. I'm going from the bottom, and then I'm going to come from the top and go down to finish that up. Alright, going in from the top, and there we go. It should fall out. And we just have the last part here, and then we are finished with our design. I'm pinching that edge with my pinching fingers right here as I'm cutting. It stabilizes everything so I don't have any shifting of the paper. And the design is complete. Move away all the little snips and open up our design, and we will see our beautiful snowman January snowflake emerge. There we have. If you are interested in purchasing a book, if you haven't already done so, please feel free to email me at clearvisions@gmail.com and we can get a book to you. Happy cutting!